أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله على النبي الكريم.
Sunana Fatima Muhammad ne matan aure ne kawai.
An rima Suleiman Adamu da Emir of Bauchi.
Sunana Eustace ne. Ina yin aikin abinci ne sai da
Ina da 'ya'ya 7.
My name is Tahir Muhammad Ahmad. I'm the Emir of Zamfara and Chairman of the Protect Council of Chiefs.
in taimaki yarana don babansu ya rasu suna ƙanana. Nake musu komai da komai.
My name is Ismail Muhammad Mira, Emir of Ukwu.
Sunana Hawa Ibrahim. Sunana Hafsat. Shekara na 11. Na fara makaranta kuma na fita. Babana ya rasu ina ƙarama ta kuma mama ta ce ba ta da kuɗi biya min kuɗin school fees. Bana zuwa makaranta saboda babana ba ta samu kuɗin makaranta.
Girl child, especially in the village, is a source of income, either in cash or in kind, to the parent. One, through the dowry they might bring early in life when they are married off to early age. And if they're lucky to be allowed to stay for, up to 14, 15 years, during that time of their life, they will be used, to hawk, to help in the kitchen at home, some even to help in the farm.
Some people are less privileged now. They consider sending their children to remain still hawking here and there to earn living instead of taking them to school. And so poverty is a contributing factor.
To a large extent, we get some of them, to agree to take the child to a primary school. But then after primary school, they drop out. They'll tell you, we can't register in the secondary school. It takes a lot of money to register a child in secondary school. We have to probably pay for transport, which again could be expensive for some families.
Abubuwan da suke hanawa saboda yanayin rayuwa kuma ana fama da abin da za a ci. To bai bari a biya musu kuɗin makaranta.
It's very unfortunate that children are being produced every day, but no provision for them. First of all, the fault everywhere. The government fault, the parent fault, and community fault. The government, one, we don't have teachers, and there's shortage of classrooms. For the community, people are, they don't seem to give priority to education, and on the parent are only producing the children with no provision for them.
Ina son in je makaranta ne saboda duk ƙawayena suna zuwa makaranta. Ina son in ga na zama ɗaya daga cikinsu.
Some people, they compare religion and education, which is another contradicting factor?
Generally, parents are fearful, I think, of the independence they think Western education can give a girl child, and that she might also, in the process of acquiring that knowledge because of the time she has to take before getting married, be misled by either fear, influence, or temptation, to engage in a premarital affair that could bring shame to the family.
We found out that there are more girls, more out of school girls than boys, because the most of the time the mothers will argue that they want somebody around them to do some peddling for them, do some menial work for them, and even some coaching. And at the end of it, we found out that it's the fault of the husband because she could not provide. It's the mother that will do what she can, and she has to use somebody to do the coaching to get money and feed.
Ni ina da ƙawaye uku. Ina da Fatima, Aisha, Maryam. Su suna zuwa makarantar da nake. Ina so in je makaranta yanzu.
I visit schools in my domain, and when I go to them, I don't go alone naturally. I take a lot of people along with me. And the first thing I tell them is, I was once like you. And everybody that you see on this side, of this assembly was like you. Luckily for you, some of you are wearing long trousers. In my days, we went to school with short knickers, no matter how cold it was. So I will talk to the parents in a similar manner. We are products of Western education. Look at me now. I went to school in Nigeria, I went to school in Europe. And it hasn't changed me a bit. I go about with a turban on my head because that's the culture. And if anything, I'm the custodian of culture and tradition of my people. Western education hasn't changed that at all. So if anybody thinks going to school, can change you, and fear of that change, is preventing parents from taking their word to school, they look at me. I am a role model for you, and it is education that got me where I am now.
Some people, they may think this insecurity, once they take their children to school, anything can happen now. So they consider removing them from the school or here and there now. So insecurity is another contributing factor to the challenges now.
It's, taking us back. But now that the federal government has come to our rescue, we have more security. I think the thing is going to be over in a very short time from now.
The inability of some parents, again, to have what it takes to provide uniforms. You might think it's a small thing, but to some families it's a huge, huge endeavor to provide the right kind of uniforms for the child and to provide the books they need and the writing materials and any other demand that the school might have on the child. So this also constitutes a challenge to some families.
Wata rana haka muke tashi ma ba mu da yanda zamu. To ba yanda zamu yi biya kuɗin makaranta. Balantana har a ci za a je makaranta. A ci abinci.
The misconceived idea that it is within the tenets of Islam to do as much as possible, give away your child in marriage at an early age. And so this, in my opinion, probably the biggest reasons why a girl child is denied access to education, especially in the villages.
I can recall somebody was saying, we've been insisting that our children should go to school. So what are they learning there? Once we don't have effective or qualified teachers to teach them now. So that's how they will go for nothing. They will go just the way they go. They will still come back nothing. So it's like we are insisting, let them go to school. So they went to school, nothing to learn. And there's nobody, we don't have qualified teachers.
A lack of infrastructure, a lack of quality education is also a factor why parents don't want to send their children to school. The mere fact that a child goes to school for 6 years and ends up not even being able to read or write a letter for any member of the family that wants to send a message out. Why waste 6 years?
We need teachers, because one of the problems we are facing is the lack of enough teachers. So quite okay that teachers, but the thing is overwhelming for them. We have to get more teachers so that it will go a long way in reducing the burden. I remember in one of the classes we have in my Emirs, there are more than 100 girls in our class. So just imagine, and then you find out that we only have 2 teachers.
And this issue of script, teachers college, it have been scrapped. It's a major challenges that are facing our education sector in this country. So maybe I'm appealing to the government. This issue of this teachers college training should be revived in order to make our educational sector more successful now.
Now we integrate Islamic something. We use the Islamic method, Islamia method, and then introduce Western education. So they are pursuing Islamic education alongside with the Western education.
Islam supports 100% that a girl child should be educated just as her female counterpart. In fact, the argument in Islam about a girl's education is stronger than that of a male child, because the Prophet of Islam said, if you educate a girl, you educate the entire nation. You know, they are mothers. They bring up our children. They bring the future.
I use my own self as an example. I am blessed with most of the children I have are girls, and currently 5 of them have finished universities, and 3 are in the universities. 2 are about to go to university, all female. And all my wives, 2 of my wives are teaching. And one of my senior wife, she didn't attend any school, but she is in my house as my wife, and then she pursued both primary and secondary education. I'm now encouraging her to go to tertiary for even distance learning.
Another thing we intend doing, which I think my colleagues also, a lot of them will be willing to, is to get some of our well-to-do citizens to adopt a child, especially from very poor background that has shown promise in primary school to further their education.
Muna yin wasan girki, muna yin tarakke, kuma muna yin tantan. Wasa muna yin gala-gala, muna tarakke.
We look at it at the Emirs level. We constituted a committee that comprises our district heads, village heads, and all the stakeholders involved now. So to sensitize our community, they should tell them the value of education, you understand? And they should, that constant supervision. So I believe these 2 factors now, we consider that in our Emirate level now.
Kuka na ina son gwamnati taimaka min game da yarana. Su taimaka min game da yarana su samu makaranta, su taimake ni, su taimaki al'umma. Gwamnati kuma su taimaka min da wurin zama. Ba mu da wurin zama.
Because if they're only being educated, no motivation, After graduating, what do they do? So we want all this skill acquisition to tie it along with this school program or this literacy program. It will go a long way in encouraging more of them, to come and register.
In most of the Emirs, we have what we call education fund, which is an endowment fund that Emirs put together by soliciting assistance from their educated or well-to-do indigents. And it won't be out of place, in my opinion, because that's what I intend to do. I have a chest of over 100 million, from a fundraising we did last December, which we aimed to use to prop up the deficiencies we have, especially in the girl-child education at primary level in the villages. For those families that cannot afford the basics of sending a child to school, we can use these funds to provide what they need to ensure that that girl goes to school.
So I'm appealing to our people. They should take their children to school and ensure their total completion, more especially our girls, you understand? So please, this issue of ignorance or whatsoever, it should be avoided now. So please, let's educate our children. Once you educate the child, it's like you educate the society now.
Rayuwa ne shi kan shi wanda akwai bambanci da mai ilimi da mara ilimi. Ina ba da misali da na ce yarinya idan ta fito da ƙauye ta ilimi za ta fi ƙarfin mazan ƙauye ba su iya neman ta in ta ilimi domin sun ga ta fi ƙarfin su.
Ina roƙon masu mulki da masu sarauta da su taimaka masu ta samu ingantaccen ilimi daga firamare zuwa jami'a don Allah su taimaka mu.
Ina son da Allah ya masu kallona da masu ji na masu hannu da shi don Allah su taimaka mu sana a makaranta su taimaka ma iyayena domin in cimma burina.
Government should allocate more funding to our education sector. And secondly, there's this issue of synergy between the traditional institution and the government per se now. I believe once this happen, the issue of girl child OOS will become history now.
Ni idan na girma ina so in zama malaman boko. Ina so in koyar da ƙananan yara saboda in musu karatu. In yi musu maths, English, social stories. Ina son in yi karatu. Ina son taimaka ma mamana. Likita, saboda in taimaka wa mata da al'umma marasa lafiya.
Hauwa ina kira a gare ki je makaranta, ki karatu. Ina tabbatar miki a matsayin mu shugabanni. Dan mu assisting mu motivate dan ba ki duk wani taimako ki samu ki karatu saboda ke ma ki samu moriyar rayuwa, ki samu garkuwa a rayuwa. So ina kira a gare ki Hauwa a je makaranta a yi karatu kuma tabbatar an fara karatun nan a samu a karasa, kar a fita makaranta, kar a guja makaranta. Okay, Hafsat, I encourage you to go to school, go and learn what is life, what's all about now. Education is a prerequisite to life. So in my capacity, Hafsat, I will encourage you and motivate you to go and complete you get your full potentials.
Burina shine in ga ta samu makaranta daga firamare zuwa jami'a ba a samu matsala.
Ina son ta samu ci gaba. In ta gama makaranta ta samu ci gaba. Ina son ta zama malaman makaranta ko ta zama nurses, duk ina so.
Don't be influenced by some people who are discouraging you. Don't be influenced. Forget about them. I am talking to you because I am educated. I am talking to you because I am a leader. The way I want you, all my girls, my children who are girls, are currently, most of them have finished universities, and some are in the process of getting admission. So I want you to be like them too, because That will make him feel proud